In 2017, a group of drivers in London formed the United Private Hire Drivers. That same year, they voted to become a part of the IWGB union, joining couriers and outsourced migrant workers in a united struggle against precarious, exploitative work. Since then, the union has been relentless in fighting and winning the rights and respect that drivers deserve. In 2018, we won a landmark case against Uber in the Supreme Court, securing workers' rights like sick pay and parental leave. The ruling had implications not just for the 70,000 Uber drivers in the UK at the time, but for the whole of the gig economy. It showed we could take on these corporate giants and win. In 2019, when TfL introduced congestion charges for private hire drivers, we fought back, both in the courts and on the streets. We argued in the High Court that the new tax was racist and unfair, and organised a series of protests, blocking central London bridges and bringing national attention to the treatment of gig economy workers. On the 17th of February 2021, we lost a member in the worst way imaginable. Gabrielle Bringy was stabbed to death whilst driving for Bolt in Tottenham. Bolt didn't even check on Gabrielle's welfare after his car was registered as stationary for almost 6 hours. We rallied around Gabrielle's family and, following a vigil in his memory, organised a series of protests and meetings with Bolt. Gabrielle's campaign for driver safety continues to this day, spearheaded by Mara and Renata, Gabrielle's sister and fiancée. Just this year, we had a symposium in Parliament where we invited MPs to hear drivers' stories and pledged to take action. Many of our members have bravely stood up and spoken out about their experiences, including Funke, Alison, Garad, Abdurrahman, Abdi Fatah and Alkaz. And most recently, a member in North London whose minicab company turned their backs on him when he was stabbed in the neck by riders, only narrowly escaping with his life. Pushing back against private hire companies' disgusting neglect of their drivers' safety and well-being remains in the forefront of our campaigning. In 2021, we took to the streets again to protest unfair deactivations that close drivers' accounts and confiscate their livelihood for no reason, sparked by racist facial recognition software which failed to recognise black and brown faces. The protest saw hundreds of drivers joined by MPs to gather outside Uber's headquarters in Aldgate. Serial tests have been another cause of anxiety for our members, revoking the licences of people who have worked as drivers without issues for years. In January, we protested with Pakistani and Bangladeshi drivers' communities outside the Mayor of London's office to draw attention to the racist double standards imposed on private hire drivers. A key element to pushing our campaign forward is gathering together as drivers on a regular basis. This year, Somalian members of the union, organised by Abdul Karim, set up a driver drop-in, a monthly session in Leighton where drivers could come to chat, get support, discuss their issues and share strategy ideas. Now that we have a model, we want to see driver communities in other parts of London set up their own drop-ins so we can strengthen our network from the grassroots up. Another exciting development has been a recent surge of action at Addison Lee. In September this year, drivers protested their deteriorating terms and conditions with a mass log-off, which left the company with 0 cars available across much of London. This was an incredible first step in a company-wide push for driver power, which is gathering momentum every day as more and more drivers join the union and plan the next action. There are approximately 315,000 private hire drivers in the UK right now. The vision of our union is to bring every driver into the IWGB movement so that we can harness our greatest power, the power to strike. By fighting in the courts and on the streets, building deep communities defined by solidarity and collective action, the IWGB Private Hire Drivers will continue to lead the way for workers in the gig economy. Every driver active and organising would transform drivers' experiences, our working conditions and our lives.